I decided to transform this Crate Palomino amplifier 32 watt tube amp combo into a separate head and the cabinet. I think this is actually pretty good amplifier for the money. It gives a pretty good clean sound. It also gives a very good crunch and sounds pretty good. And it also takes pedals pretty good as well. I also tried to run it into a Mesa 2x12 cabinet, which sounds really powerful and good. So I think that I would like it to be more versatile in the placement because this thing is pretty heavy. So that's why I decided to make a new version of it, which would be just a head separately. It's fitted with the Celestion speaker, 12-inch. I'm not sure what exactly it is. It says Palomino series, so I'm not sure. It also has a spring reverb in it. So we'll see how it will go. I think I have an idea about which wood I want to use. I'm going to use Purple Heart for this, I think. And it should give a very nice combination of Purple Heart with gold and with the ability of Purple Heart to actually go darker if you hit it. It can be very, very interesting looking amp head if everything goes as planned. I'm measuring the electronics for the amp at 19.5 inches long, and I think that I need to have enough space inside so that it has some breathing room, and also I can put the reverb into it. And that brings me to about 7.5 inches tall. That means that I have to probably cut two pieces for the length of maybe 22 inches, because I would like to leave off some of the space or some of the length in order to create dovetail joints. If the board thickness is 3/4 inch, then it means that I have to have 1.5 inches in addition to the internal length inside the cabinet in order for dovetails joints to fit. If the length of the stuff is 19.5, then it means that I have to add another 1.5. That brings me to 21. If I cut 22 just to be on the safe side, I should be totally fine. I have to have two of those, so that's total giving me a 44 inches length. And then I also think if I have to say that, do the same math on the boards that are going on the sides, then I need approximately 9 to 10 inches on both sides with some room to spare to actually fit it when needed. So that means another, let's say, 20 inches of length, and it seems like this very thick and heavy board of Purple Heart, which is 1 3/4 inch thick, is going to be exactly the size that I need. So this is now a much more manageable piece, still heavy, but it is 22, like 66 Samus likes to say, 22 inches long. And the beauty of this wood is that if you heat it up a little bit, it just warms up a little bit, the oils are coming out, so it becomes like very, very dark purple. And if the wood is fresh, you can do a very interesting thing with the finishing of that by applying a little bit of heat in some strategic places. So that's why I like the idea of creating this cabinet from this wood, because I then can do a little bit of a trickery with the heat and make it look very, very interesting. So now it's time to split it in half alongside this plane, and now I will have two boards for the top and the bottom, 22 inches long. 22! Now I need to run them through the planer, make sure that they are equal thickness, and after that we can cut them to pieces and prepare for the dovetail jointing. So the boards are ready now. The only thing I need to do is to make sure that they are now all equal width, because there's still this rough edge that I need to remove. So it's going to be 5 and change, like almost 6 inches wide, and it should be enough because there's going to be main body of the amp head case, and then also there's going to be a face which is going to be on top of that. So because total width of the amp is about 7.5 inches as well, I will need to add a little bit more here because the boards are not wide enough. But I think it should work okay because I have some plan for the face panel, how it's supposed to look, and I think it's going to be just fine. So I need to just cut them to width. So this is a quite interesting thing. This is a Porter cable dovetail jig. It allows you to create dovetail joints and box joints of different kind. So when you are working with two pieces, you have the long piece and you have a short piece usually for the box. When you cut the dovetail joint, the long piece is recommended to use as a tail board. So you cut your tails here, and then you cut your pins on the shorter board. And then when it's all said and done, then these two things are connecting very well together and provides very strong joint, but it also provides a very nice, beautiful joint. And for this project, I think it's important to have this kind of nice joint for the wood. It's very daunting from the beginning to get to understand how this jig works, but then when you get it, it becomes very simple. You just need to set it up once, run all your tails first, insert the board, do the cuts, rotate the board, do the cuts, insert the other one, repeat. And then you have to rotate the template for the pins, and then you work with these small guys and you create the pins for them using this straight bit. So currently I have a dovetail bit in my router, and I just wanted to make sure that I have the depth proper, but I think that should be fine. It looks like it's gonna work. So we'll see. At least I use the measurement that is provided here for the cut. So I think it should be just fine. Oh no, oh no, oh no, that's bad. That's a problem. That's a problem, and that's the problem of this wood, because it chips out very easily. So I will have to try to fix it somehow when the whole thing is done. So we'll see. But yeah, this is a problem. All right, it is what it is. We'll have to fix it. We'll see. So unfortunately, I had two chip outs on the boards. That's the problem of working with this wood. I don't know why, but the routing it chips out very easily along the grain. And I was going slow, so I'm not sure what is the best approach here. But fortunately, both of those chip outs happened on the inside part of the board, internal side of the board. So the outside are completely fine on both sides, on both boards. That means that the outside look is not affected, it's just a little bit on the inside. So I should be fine to proceed. I hope that nothing like that happens with the tails. Maybe it's going to be a little bit easier because it's a straight bit, not a dovetail bit. The pin side, you need to change the bit in the router, change the bushing so that it allows for the travel of the bit alongside the template. Then you have to turn the template for the pin side and insert the shorter board properly. And then the last bit is to start from a joint that is going to be a little bit tighter, and this is regulated by moving the template a little bit closer to you. When you start from a tighter joint, you can try it so that it's not loose from the beginning, because it's not possible, it's not easy to fix a loose joint. But if it's a little bit on the tighter side, then you can try it. If it's too tight, you can always move this slightly and then try it again, and you can fine-tune your joint this way. You do it on the first board, and then after it's done and you're happy and it's enough space for the glue and the joint works, then you can run the other boards through that setup joint. So that's what I'm going to do right now. The box is ready, and unfortunately maybe it's not exactly precisely everything correct, but it worked out in the end. I had some problems with the joints, but they are looking okay now after I did a little bit of fixing, and it looks okay. Now this part here is going to be one insert like this on this side, and there's going to be one similar insert on the other side as well. I have a special plan for that, and then after that I will have to create a face panel that is going to be protecting the panel head, the actual amp head, and also there's going to be a grill that is going to provide the ventilation, so that the front panel is going to get done as well after that, on top of this insert. Overall, I tried to see how the amp head is going to look inside the box with the contrast of the purple heart and golden front panel. It looks really good, so I think that this whole thing is going to work out. So next step is just to finish up the framing with this and then create the face panel. So I decided to go with the very simple glue up. I'm doing just the glue and the brad nails, very easy. No need to clamp anything, very fast, and I think it's gonna be working just fine. Well, now the box is done. It's roughly sanded, so that's how it looks right now. It's I think it looks pretty good, interesting. It's going to be more interesting in the end, I hope. The next step, I need to cut out the front panel and figure out the placement of the separator that I'm going to have here between the amp head panel and the vent that I will vent grill. So I need to make the measurements, make the same kind of corner. It's probably going to be the miter corner as well, and then just put it in and try to put in the amp and see if it's all gonna match. I'm gonna try to do it right now as well, just to see that everything is as expected, everything fits, and after that I will be able to just real quick put the faceplate together. Moving well. If you think you have enough clamps, you don't. So the first part of the face panel is in. You see this this part here. So now it's looking like this from the top, and this is going to be the bottom piece. This is going to be the top piece. So it's kind of turned around. Everything. I checked the amp. The amp fits very well. Very good, nice fit. Not too tight, but tight enough. So I'll wait for this a little bit, and then after this is done, I will need to put the sides and the separator. So there's going to be some fun with that. For now, just wait a little bit. But I have the piece for the sides, and I have the piece for the separator already as well. So that's prepared. Just waiting to be cut to size, to measure in place, make sure that everything is, especially the separator, I need to place it exactly where I want it, so that it splits up between the amp and the grill. So that's why, and then that will dictate the size of these pieces that are going to be covering the sides of it. So that's why I have to wait for this part to be done first. So far, seems like it's coming up nicely. So the box is ready, the face panel is ready. I'm not necessarily very happy about the joint of these panels over here, because changing the direction of the grain, but I'm not sure what would be the better way of doing this for now. So but this is this part is ready, and it was sanded to 220. I rounded the internal edge of the back panel here, so this is now nice and smooth and soft. The only thing that I decided not to do was to, because I'm really afraid about Purple Heart chipping out very easily when you're routing it. I had it several times, so it's like not the best way, and I just didn't want to risk it. So instead of actually routing the edge here on the panel, on the front panel inside, I just decided to sand it instead and just remove the sharp corners and don't do any hard profile on it. So but in general, I think this is looking pretty nice. So the amp is gonna go here. The grill is also ready, so that's the grill that is gonna be going inside. Now it's taped, so oh, I forgot this. Good, I checked. So I need to tape this small bar here, small panel, but everything else is taped. So now I can actually go and apply some primer to these parts and then paint it. This is going to be pretty quick, and should come out very nice. I think the lines are going to be nice and straight, and everything is going to look good. Well, I think this should be pretty satisfying moment. Let's see the lines. After I'm removing this, I should be able to just cover it with the poly and gone. Well, there is one more thing I wanted to show you. This is the magic of Purple Heart. this out. Not good. The paint bubbles up. Uh-oh. So that's how it looks. I managed to do that anyway. The only thing I did differently was to make sure that I turn it on the side and move the flame alongside the surface, away from the paint corner or from the paint side, kind of, you know, looking away from this into this direction more, and from the other side as well, and that seemed to have worked. As you can see, it's really popping up this purple bursts of oils. Now I have to seal it with the poly, and this is gonna be done. I think it looks pretty sick. This is shaping up, so this is how this thing is gonna be looking like. It's already in there. I decided not to go with the external mounts for the amp head. I just wanted to keep this side clean, and then this should be just fine here. Have to think about what to do so that it doesn't fall out, because I just shimmed it up and it has supports right there on the sides. So we'll see how it will work out, because it kind of can slide out. But in general, that's the idea, and that's how it's supposed to be. So because of the see-through design of the front panel with the grill that is having quite big holes, I decided to cover the reverb unit also in gold, because it was ugly, just dirty aluminum colored thing. So now it's looking like this, and now it's gonna be a final step of assembly and the big reveal, because there's a little bit of a surprise in the end. So now I just have to place it on this soft holders inside the case, and then put the amp head in, and it's going to be done. Here it is, folks, the final look. That's how it was supposed to be looking like. Is it perfect? No. Are there problems? And yes, there are. But overall, for the first time doing this, I think this looks nice. I'm waiting for the feet to come in, and I also need to figure out a way. That's the reverb unit there. That's the final look, and ooh, it's a bitsy spider. So from crate Palomino, white and gold, to this.